Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Core just trammed into riot in Charlottesville. Watch the video that's shocking America. A state of emergency was declared on Saturday after fights broke out between people attending the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. Antifa and right-wing groups battled out on the streets, according to WDSU. Then suddenly a car plowed through the Antifa groups. Terry McAuliffe tweeted this on Saturday morning. The acts and rhetoric in #Charlottesville over the past 24 hours are unacceptable. A right to speech is not right to violence. Share this everywhere, patriots. This is America. We voted for President Trump and we do not want violence on the streets. We want law and order. Stay united. Trump just gave some terrible news to Obama's aides partners. President Trump is doing everything he can to erase the damage and the waste that Obama has produced. Recently, Trump helped drain the swamp by firing the 16 members of Obama's Federal Advisory Council on HIV/AIDS. Changing the makeup of Federal Advisory Committee members is a common occurrence during administration changes, explained Executive Director Kate Hayes. The 16 members apparently received a letter of termination without explanation. One of the members fired, Scott A. Soetz, complained on Twitter. Remaining #HIV/AIDS council members booted by @real Donald Trump. No respect for their service. Dangerous that #Trump and company, Pence especially, are eliminating few remaining people willing to push back against harmful policies, like abstinence-only sex ed. #We object #Pasha6 #resist, he tweeted. Gabriel Maldonado, another member, made a statement. I can only speculate. Like any administration, they want their own people there. Many of us were Obama appointees. I was an Obama appointee and my term was continuing until 2018, he said. So much of my advocacy and policy references surrounded vulnerable populations, addressing issuing of diverse communities, specifically looking at the impacts of the LGBT community, namely, the disproportionate impact of HIV and AIDS to people of color, gay men, transgender women, and a lot of those key vulnerable populations are not being prioritized in this administration, he said. Eric Bolling slams Governor Cuomo for saying that Trump is declaring civil war on him with tax cuts. Liberal politicians all over the country have tried to make it sound like President Trump's obviously beneficial tax cuts are a bad thing. The most overly dramatic has been New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who told the citizens of New York that Trump has declared civil war on them. One of the really devilish things in the bill is they then eliminate the deductibility of state and local taxes, which sounds like a mouthful, but what it says is up until now, for over 100 years, you paid a state tax, you paid a local tax, you deducted that from your federal tax, said Cuomo. They're eliminating that. So you're now paying two taxes, you pay a tax to the state, or a tax to the local government. And then the federal government taxes that tax. It happens to occur coincidentally on only blue states, he said. Former Fox News anchor Eric Bolling had the perfect response to this. Elected officials in blue states are complaining about real Donald Trump tax reform as unusually hard on them. Anyone else wonder why the highest tax states are blue, Dem? NY, NJ, MA, EL, CA. Here's an idea: governors greater than lower your state and local taxes. #MAGA tweeted Bolling. Do you think he's right? Warpath: Trump just threatened to do unthinkable to Venezuela. When Donald Trump saw the civil war erupting in Venezuela, he didn't simply turn his back. No sir, President Trump marched up to the reporters, looked into the dead center of the cameras, and declared with confidence. In case you were unaware, Venezuela is a socialist hellhole run by a dictator named Maduro who delights in the slaughter and starvation of his own people. And when the reporters pried why Trump would consider military options, he said, "They are close. Now, before you freak, it makes sense. We send troops to the Middle East but we cannot defend our neighbors, and stop a refugee crisis. That's ridiculous." To put the icing on the cake, the president of Venezuela actually called Trump an hour after the press conference and Trump refused to take the call. Oh, and then he made a press release from the White House about his refusal. Love him or hate him, nobody cannot say Trump is not a tough guy willing to fight for what he believes in. If you agree with Trump on Venezuela, share this out and let him know America backs our president. Look, WHO's back. What Jeff Sessions just said about Virginia violence made Trump cheer. After the upsurge in violence over the weekend in Virginia, Jeff Sessions is sick and tired of seeing innocent Americans' lives lost. The Attorney General released a statement earlier today, saying that he stands united behind the president in condemning the violence in Charlottesville and any message of hate and intolerance. Sessions went on to say that the violence is totally contrary to American values and can never be tolerated, adding that our Justice Department would support local and state officers on the scene in any way possible. Sessions' statement comes only a few hours after President Trump's own thoughts on the subject. "We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry and violence on many sides, Trump said. What do you think should be done? Make sure to let us know." California prosecutes man for writing anti-Muslim post on Facebook. A man from California, Mark Feigen, posted several posts insulting Islam on Facebook. And now he is being forced to pay the price. Feigen posted 5 separate messages to the Islamic Center of Southern California's Facebook page. "The terror hike, sounds like fun," he wrote in response to the center's sunset hike announcement. "The more Muslims we allow into America, the more terror we will see. Practicing Islam can slow or even reverse the process of human evolution. Islam is dangerous. Fact, the more Muslim savages we allow into America, the more terror we will see. This is a fact which is undeniable. Filthy Muslim shit has no place in Western civilization," he wrote. Rather than simply block the man, the page decided to pursue legal action against him for these messages under California Penal Code Section 653(b). Every person who, with intent to annoy or harass, makes repeated telephone calls or makes repeated contact by means of an electronic communication device, to another person is guilty of a misdemeanor. Nothing in this subdivision shall apply to telephone calls or electronic contacts made in good faith or during the ordinary course and scope of business. The government's argument is that the mere content and nature of the posts establish that they are not made in good faith, as defendant would suggest, but are meant to annoy and harass. Defendant is not seeking understanding or guidance. Instead, he is boasting in order to annoy and harass those who have beliefs with which he vehemently abhors. Did you know that something like this should be illegal? Can we start arresting all the liberal trolls on Trump's Facebook page? Trump just left everyone speechless with who he just blamed for violence in Charlottesville. Today was a dark and sad day for America. An attempted protest turned into a horrific violent outburst in Charlottesville, Virginia that left at least one person dead. The clash resulted when two despicable groups, white supremacists and Antifa, clashed over the removal of a Robert E. Lee statue. Within almost no time flat, President Trump took action by saying a few words that left everyone in America breathless. Trump said this violence was caused by hate and bigotry by liberals and conservatives and many, many more. President Trump made his thoughts pretty darn clear when he told the reporters, "We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides, on many sides." But, despite what some of the lefties are reporting, he does not stop there. He made an impassioned speech about an age-old hate, older than him or Obama, that has divided Americans along racial and religious lines for far too long. However, Trump has a prescription for what ails our nation: unity. He said it is time to learn to respect one another despite our differences and try to learn to love our neighbors. Who could possibly stand against a message so timeless and so authentically American? That's why Trump made it, and that's why we need to help share this to everyone, and I mean everyone. Black, white, Jew, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, atheist, liberal, conservative, etc., etc., etc. You do this, and we can hopefully unite around the greatest bond we all share, being America. God bless.